everyone. I'm Rebecca Lombardo, host of VendorVibes and fractional CMO. Today, I am here with Lenny from Tandemly. Hello, Lenny.
Hi, Rebecca. Good to see you today.
So can you tell me what is Tandemly?
Yeah, so Tandemly is a management consulting firm that focuses on the top line and bottom line of businesses. So how do we help businesses make more money? How do we help them cut costs? But at the focus is really the culture and the people. So for us, we have this management consulting layer. We're kind of like light HR because we're helping develop systems, develop trainings, workshops, and up-level employees with clarity. And then we're also executive coaches, and I'm actually a licensed therapist. So we bring all of this together to understand the best practices of business and psychology to help businesses grow and thrive, retain employees, and be the best that they can be.
Okay, great. And do I need to have anything in place in order to work with you guys? Like, do I have
Yeah.
a certain size staff?
Yeah, that's a great question. For us, because we're focused on the internal to external processes, you probably want to have, we can work with you if you're 2 or 3 people. However, that 10 to 12 is where we like to get involved. Historically, we've worked with a lot of tech companies and venture-backed CPG. We have been working actually with Abode Luxury Rentals for about 4 years, and we've been working with them since they were about 15 people. I think that's a really great place to kind of bring us on because we can help scale the systems out as you're growing and scaling. But basically, just have to be big enough to have, other people in distinct jobs. You're going to want to have employees that are, maybe you have a head of sales, maybe you have a head of operations. We want, people to have sort of a linear job. And then just frankly, you want to have enough revenue to be able to kind of retain us and pay for us because, your margins, even though we can help with that, it's, it is an investment to bring us on.
I call those the swim lanes.
Yes.
Everybody has
Absolutely.
their own swim lanes.
Right. And what we've found with some vacation rental companies is swim lanes are bleeding over. And so it's really important to have job clarity. It's really important to have a really good org structure because as things, get bigger and more complicated, and as you bring on more homes and more clients, even with my husband's business, Dwell Luxury Rentals, we're pretty small. We have 5 employees. But, every day we're bringing on more homes and bringing on more things. So we're employing the same systems, at his company at four people or so, that we're going to look at for companies like Abode that have about 50.
So what would you say makes you guys kind of unique?
Yeah, great question. For us, it's our hands-on. So it's even in our name. So a lot of management consultants will come in and sort of say, here's what you should do. Good luck with that. We actually kind of stay on board. We're on your Slack. We're in, we're developing 15.5 or some of the other performance management systems with you. So we are kind of like on your team in terms of project management to make sure some of these things actually get done. Because nothing's worse than paying for a service. And I'm sure you can attest to it with your work as well, being fractional. You need to be in it to make it happen.
I was just going to say that I so agree with everything you just said because being in the trenches, like putting their jersey on, like, yes, absolutely. It's a world of difference.
Yes, it's one thing to say this is what you should do, and then there's another thing to say like, okay, I'll handle it on your behalf and make sure that the people on your team have, insert org chart because I'll build it on Miro with them or whatever.
Okay, great. So do you work mainly in the US? Are you global?
Yeah, mainly US. I would say, most of our clients are coastal, coastal internal, like wherever, honestly. We have done workshops and things abroad, Mexico, Britain, things like that. But our core focus is the US.
Okay, and do you work with a certain size? Like, do I have to have a certain number of properties?
No, I mean, it kind of comes back to the size of your employee pool as well. So I'd say, maybe like 50, 75, that seems like the right kind of like revenue generation so that you have like an actual staff. Because even when I look at my husband's company, we have 20 properties and counting, like, he gets it for free because we're married, but companies like that, like it might be a little bit more challenging, I would say, because you're still trying to figure out what your core offering is. I think one of the things we're focused on is like you as the founder know what you want your guests to feel, your homeowners to feel. We help you replicate that magical DNA. So until you have that real secure identity, and we can actually help you with that too. We can help you like figure out your mission, vision, values, things along those lines.
That's really interesting that you say that about that size, because I feel like that is also a tipping point for like marketing and branding effort.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I would love a project where you and I could play together because it feels like we're kind of focused on similar things. We have similar alignment and can help clients in a similar way as they're about to like break out of that developmental pool. Because people are like companies are like people where there are developmental stages, and it feels like that might be, an inflection point for companies at around the 50 mark of homes.
Well, that's really good insight for you to offer in this interview. So I really appreciate that. If anybody wants to maybe just chat a little bit further with you, like what's the best way to like kind of take a next step or reach out?
Yeah, find me on LinkedIn. I try to be pretty active on there, or just shoot me an email, and I'd love to set up time and just kind of get to know what anyone's up to and how their business is going, and just learn more.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking time to chat with me today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Cheers, everyone.